Gary, just give us an idea of the timescale of how everything's unfolded, the level of disruption. And I guess the big question everyone is asking is when will all the people who've been affected be back available? Obviously, you have a huge game on the horizon on Sunday as well.
Well, Mark, things have been unfolding the last days, just immediate days, and obviously we're adapting as we move along. But purely, we've arrived here in Armenia now, and the focus just turns to the job in hand. And then we get this game out of the way, and hopefully we get the right result and proceed into the group stages. We then can turn our attentions to the game at the weekend. But we come here just fully focused to getting the job done here.
Gary, just a quick note, just before I ask you this, just to say I'm sure that all Rangers fans will be wishing those players and staff impacted by this a speedy and full recovery. Gary, obviously, in terms of the squad players who may now feature in the matchday squad for tomorrow, how would you assess their levels of confidence and readiness?
Of the guys that have joined the squad?
Yeah.
No, we've got some youngsters who have come from the B team. They've impressed recently. They've impressed when they've come over and trained with the first team. And we're confident, if we get in a nice position that all of them can go on the pitch. If that was the case, that would be massive for them. If it's already a great experience for these younger guys to have come and joined the training today and then travelling. It's probably a first for all of them, but they're well capable. And we are very confident in these young players.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Ronnie.
Just wondering, in terms of Stephen, obviously, he's not made the trip. How is the communication going to go during the game? Is it something you've spoke about with him?
No, absolutely. Listen, the messaging will remain the same. All the presentations will remain the same. He'll be joining us with conversations like we're having here. So all his messaging will definitely go over to the players. Michael Beale's here on all the coaching aspects and the tactical awareness for the players to be taken on board prior to the game. And it'll be reimbursed by myself, and then the manager will probably speak prior to the game as well. So we're in constant contact with Stephen. We're the lucky ones that are here that can affect the result, and we've got to try and get the result for the guys back in the UK.
A lot of eyes will now turn to Robbie McCrory.
Yes.
How confident are you that he can produce a big performance tomorrow night?
Do you know what? I actually did a piece recently about Robbie, and I've been impressed since day one of pre-season. He's a young man who was pretty shy, a towering guy, but very quiet. I think in the last, since we come back pre-season, I've seen a different Robbie, and he's obviously, that's been enhanced with the fact that he went out and played last season at Livingston, so gained some invaluable experience in the Premier League in Scotland. But the thing that I've noticed is he's become more confident in and around the first team players, more talkative, more chatty. When he comes in, he's first in the morning. He's a keeper that works like the keepers I played with. He's a real workhorse, and there's just more confidence about Robbie, in and around Robbie as a man. And it's been nice to see that maturity. And he's somebody who's coming out of his shell and actually maybe for the first time thinking, I belong here.
Gary, over the last couple of years, we've spoken a lot about the leaders in this team, particularly yes. at a time like this. How crucial are they going to be in this period?
Massive, and there's a word that we've used quite a lot recently, and it's the word together, and it's that senior group, that senior group of players who've got good experience. Obviously all players have over a footballing career gather bad experiences, but our guys have got good experience. So we need them all to come to the fore. This is a time where we've just got to really just come in close and be really tight-knit and get the correct results.
Gary, obviously, various clubs have been affected at different times by this over the course of the last year or so.
Yes.
You've had a small effect along the way, but by and large managed to steer clear of it. How well prepared have you been for this eventuality, being hit hard and being hit in what is a very big week?
Well, we feel we've got a strong squad. We'll get strength and depth. We have been hit. There's not only have we been affected by COVID issues, but we've been affected by suspensions. We've had some niggly injuries in and around players. So, the start of the season has been hindered by that. But obviously, all these little things look like excuses. But these are things you've got to adapt with, and we've got to utilise and use our squad and players that that are now in the team have got to go and grasp the opportunity. You're going back to being affected. I think when most clubs have been affected, but we've been extremely diligent in and around our training ground. I've got to say the fact that it's quite a big space. Everything that the people in and around the club to try and keep everybody safe is everything's been done. It's we've just got to adapt now and take advantage of the fact that we've got a big squad.
Gary, 4 of the goal scorers after that great performance up in Dingwall have obviously travelled with you. So does that give you a bit of a range of firepower, do you think, throughout the team that could take to the field tomorrow?
Absolutely. And when you see the team tomorrow, you'll look at it and go, that team can play in most games. We've some great times in Europe over the last 2 or 3 years, and the team that we feel is capable of going and getting a result. I think we're capable of owning the ball. By that I mean enjoying good possession. But my feeling is we can go and score goals as well, and we've got to be really, really, really on the front foot and be looking to go and add to our advantage.
Gary, in terms of the protocols for self-isolation, is there a chance that any of the players currently self-isolating could be released back into the squad before Sunday?
You've got to be mindful of the fact that now that we've moved on, and a lot of the people in and around our club have been double vaccinated, there are advantages. So we'll be looking at that. Things are going to be changing as we speak.
Is that something you've looked into? Sorry, Gary, just to double check.
I'm sure all the medical people at our club are all over that. As we pass information to the governing bodies, we will be getting guided by them as well.
Gary, you mentioned yourself there that you've had success in this competition over the past couple of seasons. What would it mean for the club to qualify once more for the group stages?
Well, for the club, it's massive, but more importantly, for the players, it's another chance to go on a journey which I'm sure all the players have really enjoyed. It's something I've absolutely loved since coming back to Glasgow, because quite simply for me, the European nights under the floodlights at Ibrox are second to none, and we want a wee bit more of that. And that's the carrot that's dangling for our players. That's the incentive to get back. There's some good teams in the Europa League, and hopefully if we can get to the group stages, there's some nice ties to be had at Ibrox again.
Gary, just a word on Alashkert. What did you make of them last Thursday night, and do you expect them to give you anything different tomorrow, given they're at home?
Well, the thing is, I thought they were quite brave in their approach. I thought they tried to play. We'd seen and watching them prior to us playing them at Ibrox that they were willing to try and play through the thirds of the field, and they did try to do that. And they were successful on a few occasions, but they never really got through to the goalie. But we feel, having looked at the strengths and weaknesses over the last 3-4 weeks since we knew we'd drawn them, that we should be looking to score some goals, and we need to be really up on the front foot and make it difficult for them to try and get any rhythm at all. And in doing that, we've got to do what we do well, try and boss possession, and then look to be really sharp in the final third.